What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV. This story takes place in Hudson, Florida, which is in Pasco County. You'll notice that a lot of the stories that I cover take place in Pasco, and that's because I was either in jail with these people or I know of their stories. During my life, most of my upbringing was in Pasco County. Definitely not something I'm proud to brag about, but hey, it is what it is. This is the story of Adam Matos and the Brown family. Adam Matos was born in Philadelphia on October 28, 1985. He resided in North Whitehall Township. The Brown family had a simple, good old-fashioned life down on the farm in Pennsylvania. Dad Greg brought home the money as an architect and engineering executive, while Mom Maggie took care of their property, their 3 children, and all the animals. Megan was the Browns' youngest child and only daughter. Megan was the pride of the family. She was a medal-winning track and field star who ran her way into Pennsylvania State University. She had athletic talent and brains going for her. She met Adam Matos, who was an aspiring DJ. Adam and Megan began dating when they were both in their early 20s. Before she knew it, Megan was pregnant with Adam's child. Megan was said to be thrilled, and so was her family. After giving birth to a beautiful little boy they named Tristan, Megan reunited with Adam for the sake of their child, who needs extra care because he was autistic. And Adam even moved into the Brown family house with Megan and Tristan with the family's full blessing to give their child a good home. But Adam Matos would soon start to wear out his welcome with Megan's mom, Maggie. And Megan and Adam were starting to have problems. But even when the dad, Greg, decided to retire and move the family to Florida, there was no shaking Adam. And the relationship between Megan and Adam would soon fall apart. The couple was renting a waterfront house in Hudson, about 20 miles north of Tampa, while their tropical island dream home was being built. Greg, Maggie, Megan, and the baby boy Tristan and the baby's father, Adam Matos, all living with them. To make ends meet, Maggie had to take a job as a convenience store cashier. Megan starts waitressing at a local bar, and Adam Matos briefly works in a restaurant kitchen until reportedly being fired, causing only more conflict between Adam and Megan, who were already arguing more than ever and reportedly even sleeping in separate bedrooms. Megan had also begun going out with a new group of friends she had met, leaving the unemployed Adam at home babysitting Tristan and battling jealousy, wondering what Megan was doing and who she was doing it with, because she would be out to early hours of the morning, and Adam's jealousy eventually leads to a violent showdown one morning when Megan comes walking through the door.
Tell me exactly what happened, Megan.
My son's dad, I just came home, and my son's dad put a knife to my throat, and he cut my hand, and I'm like bleeding everywhere, and my son's freaking out. I really don't want to do this in front of him, but he just put a knife to my throat.
Where is he at?
He took off.
Okay, when did that occur?
My son woke up. He did this in my son's room, and my son woke up.
Okay, and ma'am, he cut your hand with the knife?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm bleeding everywhere.
Okay, and that's the father of your son?
Yes.
Give me a time delay, okay, of when that happened, when he cut you with the knife.
He just did it 10 minutes ago.
Okay, 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, what is his name?
Adam Matos, ADAMMATOS.
Okay, well, how old is he?
He's 28.
28? Okay.
It was a stage knife.
You think he'll be violent with law enforcement officers?
Violent?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no idea. This is the first time he's ever actually tried to kill me.
You guys had some kind of argument, or what was going on?
Ooh, we haven't been together for weeks now because he doesn't do anything. And I went out with my friends, and I came home at like 5 in the morning, and he got all pissed off, and he was drinking. And he just put a knife right to my throat and said he was going to fucking kill me.
Adam took off after Megan called 911, but she tells police she was afraid that he might come back even angrier than ever. But days went by without any further word of trouble between Megan and Adam. The silence broke when a relative calls police to report that nobody's been able to reach any of the Browns. It's been 6 days, and when the cops show up, nobody appears to be home at the Browns' house. But they detect the all too familiar odor of death in decaying bodies. And a door was left open, so they entered through the open door leading to the garage where the Brown family van was parked. They immediately see blankets on the ground behind the van, and there is what appears to be blood all over the floor. And about the same time, a veteran cop makes another grim discovery just a stone's throw away after also noticing that same smell of death coming from a wooded area. He just happened to be driving by. The detective stops, gets out of the car, and finds something worse than he's ever seen in all his years in law enforcement. He states, "I could smell it. I could see there was a pile of bodies. They were decomposed beyond recognition. We didn't know exactly who or how many total bodies were in the pile, but the detective could easily tell that the Brown family was among them." It was just common sense. You know, we had a house with several people that are missing, and now we have a pile of bodies less than a mile right up the street. Now, I can't even imagine what was going on in this detective's head. He had to see a whole family murdered and rotting alone in the woods. The smell, the sight of it, it had to affect him. I'm sure he has a family, and to know there was someone out there that did all of this and he's walking around free had to make his blood boil. As the medical examiner tries to identify the victims, detectives go to the Browns' house with a forensic expert and find a shocking scene. The place turns pink when it's sprayed with luminol. There's a trail of blood stretching throughout the house, signs that the killer had tried to clean some of it up, and other clues to the horror that had occurred there. But some of the best evidence is found in the van parked in the blood-soaked garage. The cops knew there were people dead and decaying in the back of that van. The cop also found shovels in the back of the van. At this point, detectives believed the killer had used the shovel to try to bury the bodies in the yard. On the side of the house, there was a freshly dug area, but that area you can't dig more than a foot because it's lime rock. So, investigators say the murderer loaded the bodies into the back of the van and dumped them in that wooded area where they had just been found left under a tree. Their main person of interest is Adam Matos because he was a person who lived in that house. And they know that Megan and Adam had had serious problems. Adam had fled the house when Megan made her 911 call, which was less than 24 hours before she and her family are believed to have been murdered. But they weren't sure because Matos might even be among the identified pile of bodies. So they turned their immediate attention to another possible suspect, Nicholas Leonard. A new guy Megan had met after she moved from Pennsylvania to Florida with mom, dad, Adam, and baby Tristan. Detectives already suspect that Nick Leonard's relationship with Megan may have turned into a love triangle that could have sparked the murders. Megan apparently hadn't told her friends and family about Nick, a carpenter and landscaper, but he had told his family all about Megan, saying he was head over heels in love with her. Nick told his parents that he and Megan were trying to keep their romance quiet until Adam had moved out of the house. He told his parents that Adam had found out he was seeing Megan and was jealous. Nick and Megan had continued seeing each other. Nick had actually been among the friends Megan had been out with the night she arrived home near dawn, sending Adam Matos into that jealous rage that led to the 911 call. Then Nick Leonard suddenly disappears. But Nick Leonard is discounted as a suspect in the murder of the family, when the medical examiner finally identifies those found in the pile of decomposed bodies, and Leonard is identified as one of them. The medical examiner identified the other victims was Megan, her dad Greg, mom Maggie Brown, and all slaughtered in an unspeakable horror. The one small, yet heart-lifting, mercy that Megan's little boy Tristan appears to still be alive. Detectives believe he's probably with his father Adam Matos, who is now their prime suspect in the murders. But where was Adam and baby Tristan? Adam was now checking into a hotel in Tampa with his son Tristan with money that he stole from the Brown family. This idiot actually checked into the hotel with his name on the room, which made it real easy for the cops to find him. They merged onto the hotel room and arrested Adam Matos and got the boy Tristan. The cops said when they picked up Tristan, the little 4-year-old seemed to be in a state of shock and not talking to police. Matos was taken into custody and came walking out of the hotel room to be transported to jail. At this point, he was very calm and he didn't put up a fight. Detectives don't let on that they found the bodies of Megan, her parents, and her new man, Nick Leonard, hoping they could trip Matos up. Instead, detectives tell Matos he's being arrested on domestic violence charges stemming from that first frantic 911 call from Megan. At the station, detectives cunningly ask Matos who he would like to care for Tristan now that he can't.
Your arrest for something that happened between you and I guess she's your ex-girlfriend Megan, like last week, okay? I don't know if you were aware that deputies were even called out to the house. But we needed to come here and talk to you about some of the stuff that took place with that. And that's basically why we're here and why we wanted to come talk to you. Okay, so your son is Ishmael, right?
Ishmael Tristan, son Tisafant.
And now Ishmael's mother, that's Megan?
Mm-hmm.
What's her last name?
Brown.
Brown, okay. And what's her mom's name?
Margaret.
Margaret, okay. And is Margaret married?
Yes.
Who's she married to?
Greg Brown.
Greg, okay. Did you know that she called the police?
No, I didn't.
Didn't know, okay. Do you remember that incident where you guys got into an argument about her going out with a friend or something?
Possibly, yeah.
Do you know if she was seeing anybody else?
Why not?
Wouldn't know? Okay. What happened with that night? I guess there was an argument or something?
We talked about what happened, and we had an argument,
Okay.
and she told me to leave.
What do you mean you talk about what happened? You mean her coming home later?
Yeah, you know, she came home late, and we just talked about it. We had an argument. She told me to leave.
Okay. And during the argument, did either one of you guys get physical with each other? Any kind of physical? I mean, did she threaten you in any way? Did anybody in the family ever threaten you? Here's what we know a little bit about that argument, okay? She's alleging that you threatened her, threatened to even kill her, and threatened her with a knife.
That's not true.
That's not true? Okay.
Is there any way you can make sure that my son goes with my mom or my brother?
We can't make any promises right now. We have to see.
Okay.
We have to make sure that they're fit to be.
Okay.
But we'll work on that.
They have rules with that, you know. Obviously, you know, we would like him to go back to Megan. Do you know if that's going to be possible?
I would know.
Okay.
I thought Megan's parents, they stay with them there.
You can check. You can call her and ask.
After this interview, the boy Tristan started to finally open up to the cops and tell them what he had saw in the House of Horrors the night Adam Matos butchered the Brown family. It was then they had all the information that they needed to formally charge him with all 4 of the murders. The detectives learned that after Matos murdered the whole family and Nick Leonard, he settled back into the House of Horrors with son Tristan and made himself right at home among the dead. Investigators believe while the bodies lay murdered inside the Brown family home, Adam Matos was putting out an ad on Craigslist to sell their stuff, including several of their dogs, which he sold for $50. He even had pizzas delivered to the murder scene. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect example of evil. Sitting in a house with 4 dead people, ordering pizza and hanging out with his son like nothing happened. Prison is exactly where this guy needs to be and where he belongs. This is why we have the death penalty. But Adam Matos faces 4 counts of murder and the death penalty at trial. He took the stand in his own defense. Matos shocks a packed courtroom by claiming he killed his son's mother, Megan Brown, her parents, Greg and Maggie, and Megan's new boyfriend, Nick Leonard, in self-defense after they attacked him. But no one believed him, and he's about to find out that the jury has reached a verdict. But Matos catches a break when only 11 of the 12 jurors vote for execution, and the judge voices her disagreement.
You're not sorry for what you did yet. Maybe someday you will be. You weren't sorry that day. You weren't sorry when you took the stand, and you're not sorry now. Your son will grow up without a mother, and without grandparents, and without a father, just as you did. But worse than you, he will grow up without a father because he will know that his father murdered his mother and murdered his grandparents. There's no worse life than that. Hopefully, with the love that he has from the Piles and the Browns and all the other family relatives that he has, he will learn to understand and be happy and learn the things about his mother that he did not know because he took her at such a young age of his. There's nothing worse than losing a parent at a young age, but to have them taken from you by your father, I can't imagine.
Matos makes a pathetic attempt to show remorse, but the judge finally gives Matos the harshest punishment allowed by law. Adam Matos was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Man, so Adam Matos is a piece of shit. He killed that whole family, and he didn't even show any signs of remorse. He said at the trial he did it for his son, but yeah, I'm not buying that. He killed them because he's evil, selfish, and he should have got the death penalty. When I was in jail with him, he stayed quiet and always stayed to himself. But you know, in jail or prison, you have a lot of people that talk a lot of shit, but they say you always gotta watch out for the quiet ones. And this is him to a T. The Browns really had no idea the type of person that is living with them. My heart goes out to that family, especially the brother who's still alive and lost his whole family. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the channel. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And with that, it's DOC TV and I'm out.